am now.
Lovely. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shakespearean Shrew. I'm your Shakespearean Shrew, Karen Finer, lover of all things bard. This podcast is a decorum-be-damned entrance into understanding Shakespeare stages, for there are many, and all the players on it. We are at OSP in Paseo with actor Tiffany Tuggle and Will Rogers, actor and writer of Macbeth, opening this week at the TheatreCrude Festival. I am so excited about this play.
Me too.
So let's start talking about TheatreCrude first, because I've had Alex Golden come on to talk about Belters, which is another show I'm very excited to go see. But this is her first time with TheatreCrude. Is this your first time, or is this?
No, actually, this is my second time. Last year was I was in Romeo and Juliet.
I'm sensing a trend.
With Holly's show that Rodney Brazil directed, and
Holly McNatt.
Holly McNatt, yes, and and really, I didn't piggyback off of her idea, but I did use it as much needed inspiration, like a go ahead. It was like, oh, this can be done, and people want to see that kind of stuff, and so. Yeah, it was a good primer for this year. I kind of knew what to write for.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've already jumped into something that I was going to talk about later, so we're going to talk about it now, which is, how would you respond to the people who might, clutch at their pearls about the bastardization of Shakespeare?
That's what I want to do. I want to make them clutch at their pearls.
That's kind of the whole point of the show. Like, that whole ending scene is kind of about the Shakespeare purists.
Don't give it away.
But that is kind of at the crux of the entire play. So I'm like, come see it. That's how I would respond. Come watch it and see which thing.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that, as an English professor, as a early modernist, I love seeing people play with Shakespeare, but I also have so many people that I know that are traditionalists in a very strict sense.
I have a strict reverence for Shakespeare. I do. I've been doing it for 25 years, and really, one of the people that I want to see this the most is the former artistic director, a friend of mine, Catherine McGill, and because I do love the language so much. And that was my whole impetus for doing this, was to take the language and not make like a no fear Shakespeare. And for some
thank
people,
the Lord.
I didn't want to go, here's a translation of it. I wanted to pay tribute to the original language and make a statement about it. The show is a jukebox, a garbage jukebox musical adaptation about adaptation. And the act of turning Shakespeare into something modern. And so I think that it's my experience in musicals and Shakespeare has prepared me all my life to kind of write this. It's kind of a roast of people who adapt Shakespeare and try to, 10 Things I Hate About You, and who try to go, this is Shakespeare's plot, because we all know that Shakespeare, he stole all his plots and all his characters, and then he just put language onto old stock characters. So I'm just doing what he did.
You are. Talk about being reverent to Shakespeare. You are doing exactly what he did, and then you talked about the jukebox, which again is basically what he did. He would just kind of pull out the best parts of the clowns that he had and be like, oh, you're a good dancer, we shall dance. You're a good singer, sing it.
And like 12th Night, it was a commissioned show. They were like, put these songs in and then have some party and have some twins. And it was written, it was commissioned, and he had to just throw a bunch of stuff together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, you are talking about playing homage. I guess this is paying homage in its strictest sense. And so, am I sitting with the happy couple?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah. but not as you would normally think.
I'm so intrigued.
Yeah.
So you are our star.
Yes.
So Lady Macbeth?
No.
Oh.
No. So I get to
The
play.
plot thickens.
I get to play someone who gets to play Mackers. At the very beginning of the show, there's a mishap, an actor has to drop out, and she had talked to the director before about doing a gender swapped version. And so now, because we lost an actor, she gets to step into the role of Macbeth. So,
Got it.
yeah.
I love it. Okay. So definitely not in the way that I was imagining.
Right. Well, when I first started thinking about this, more than a year ago, well, actually, I started thinking about it about 15 years ago when I had done complete works, like my fourth time of doing complete works, and then I'd also seen this Lee Blessing play called Fortinbras, and it's a sequel to Hamlet in which the ghost of Hamlet is on a TV screen. Fortinbras has come in and taken over Dunsinane, right? And it's a really wild sequel, right? And so anyway, long story short, been out of school for like 20 years, had the opportunity to go back to school, got into an adaptation class, and I was like, I could adapt Sleepy Hollow, I could adapt Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, but really I came up with those just as because we had to come up with 3, but I always knew I was going to write an adaptation of Mackers, and I wanted to have it be like a show within a show always, and also have it be because I love shows with really flawed protagonists, right? Protagonists with deadly flaws, and protagonists that want to self-sabotage, right? And what better, one to do it with but Mackers. And then I also wanted to have it where the protagonist, I think I got off track. Anyway, but I was going to write it for, I was like, I've always wanted to play Mackers. I was in a show, I was in Mackers a long time ago as Malcolm in 2007 at the Water Stage. And I was like, one day I'll play Mackers. And then when this adaptation came up, I was like, I'm going to write myself to play Mackers. But it just dawned on me that it should be a gender swap thing, and that she was perfect.
You are Mackers.
I am he.
So with that, because you are not only a beautifully dysfunctional couple on stage, you are a beautifully functional couple. We're on the street. Off stage.
Yes.
So how does that work? How does it work kind of balancing your relationship, your artistic creativity, the different jobs and opportunities that you all have?
Yeah. For a long time, we took turns. As our son was young and growing up, we would have to kind of figure out, like, okay, well,
it's your turn.
It's your turn now, so you can do that show, and if we really, really both wanted it, and we would make it work. But for the most part, we just kind of took turns. Now that our son is older, he's 12. We're able to do more things together and not worry so much about that. So it definitely is hard. It's a lot of things.
But we did get to bring him along 3 years in a row up to the Pollard to do Christmas Carol together. It's like a traditional thing to go up to the Pollard and act in the territorial Christmas Carol.
I've seen
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
So having all 3 of us in that was a very special
Yeah.
thing that we could share as a family.
Was he Tiny Tim?
No, he wasn't. No. Well, he was the turkey boy.
It's Turkey Boy.
Oh, yes.
And and one day, maybe next year, we'll be all the Cratchits. I've played Bob the last couple of years, and she played Miss Cratchit last year.
Oh, so now
We want to all be the Cratchits eventually one day. But now he was
Goals.
too tall. He's always been too tall to be Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
He's got.
And he grew out of Turkey Boy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what a cool way though to kind of grow both in your relationship, but also for your son to kind of grow up and.
Yeah.
We didn't push him into it. I mean, he was wanting to get into this other show, and the show didn't happen. And we were like, well, we could maybe, if you really want to do it, we could, maybe get you into this Christmas Carol. And he was like really excited. Of course, midway through like 20 shows, he was like, we have to go to the theater again.
Yeah.
And that's when you're like, yes, you did. Sorry,
Yes.
you signed up for this.
He's committed.
This is what it is. And so, yeah, it's given him a much better understanding of what we do and why we do it.
So in terms of acting, because I know you lived in New York at one point it was a blip.
Yeah, it's a
on the radar.
Yeah.
But in terms of finding opportunities, in terms of developing your craft, how do you do that in a place that isn't necessarily, even though I've been, my time here has shown me quite otherwise in terms of opportunity, but doesn't obviously have a lot of opportunity or obvious opportunity for actors.
If we lived in another market, we'd be working, probably making a living at it. And there for a while I did, if making opportunities. For about 4 years, I did a main stage Christmas Carol as Scrooge here. Then we did a tour, and then we did a tour to like assisted living places and libraries. And then we did another tour, and I was in a midsummer tour. I did like midsummer like 4 times. But after a second, Catherine was like, why don't you do, Patrick Stewart did a one-man Christmas Carol. And I did it 1 year, and it was very under-rehearsed, and it was horrible. I mean, it was okay, but I got the basis of it. And then I worked on it, and then 1 year she was in Christmas Carol and I wasn't, or I was teching it. Anyway, I needed some extra money over the Christmas holiday, and I was like, I'm gonna put up a one man Christmas Carol where I play all the parts, and I whittled it down to about 45 minutes, and then I sold it for 3 years in a row to assisted living places.
Wow.
And and so you kind of sometimes have to make your own opportunities in a market like this.
Mm.
But really, we've managed to do a couple shows a year each.
But honestly, I mean, my character actually has a really great monologue at the end where she talks about like, I'm always waiting for someone else to tell me what I'm doing next. Like, there's not a lot of opportunity to create your own opportunity. You're
Right.
waiting to see what show are they doing. Is there a part for me in that? If not, okay, well, what else is there? Other than something like French or creating your own kind of one-man show, those are kind of the only avenues you have as far as theater goes of making your own opportunity.
Or you could waste a lot of time doing local commercials or, auditioning for films,
And there are some really great film things.
Sure.
Going on around
It's
here.
growing. I mean, we're
Absolutely.
a growing city for that kind of opportunity. But when you have a kid, especially if you have a kid, being on set for hurry up and wait for 16 hours is a little bit
Mhm.
Not convenient.
not convenient.
So is that why you think so many, because I think there's like 300 directors, actors, et cetera, taking part in the theater
Oh,
crew
gosh.
this
Oh
year?
yeah,
Wow.
Like there's a lot.
22 shows, 85 different performances, something like that.
Something-
Yeah.
3 venues, which it's the first because they had so much response.
Which, yeah, obviously it's grown so
Yeah.
much and they've just had that much interest in it that they said, okay, well, let's expand it. And yeah, because I think we're hungry for it. There is a market here. There's lots of creative people wanting to try something new, you know,
Right.
or get their stories out there, have an avenue to get it up and get it out there.
Not be told this is who you're going to be.
Yeah.
And this is.
Yeah, or waiting for the next ooh, can I get in that show?
I
Or
hope I can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, there's more theaters now in Oklahoma than there's ever been. There's So many community theaters and theaters popping up
Mhm.
everywhere.
It's
And then the ones that stay around, like, I mean, this has grown up, this is now miles ahead of what it was back at the Water Stage or even Hayford Park. It's, yeah. And they're doing shows all year round here now, not just,
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely changed and adapted. And, I think COVID gave a lot of growing pains,
Yes.
especially, I feel like, to theater and to actors in the theater.
Mhm.
Do you think they've completely rebounded yet from that, or do you think that's still a process?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things that, people can't go out without a mask on, and if other people aren't wearing masks, they won't go. So, I mean, that's definitely still affecting the world in general.
well, it's affected, movie theater audiences. So it's got to affect live theater too. But, I think it's getting back up there.
I mean, I think movie theater also, and maybe this is also the same for theater. It's like, oh, well, I can get it at home.
I can get it home.
Right.
Like, I can sit at home and watch it, and I don't have to
Yeah.
go somewhere. I don't have to,
I can even get live performances of theater at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although,
But you can't get the
Yeah,
you
experience.
can't get
Right.
live. Like, you
Right.
can't, yeah. Like, you can get it, but, like, I love watching, the Glow performances.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Those are so much
But
fun.
you're
to
not
watch.
there with the energy,
Exactly.
giving the energy
You're not
back.
in the room where it happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Gotta throw in Hamilton.
Because we do throw in a little Hamilton in this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're gender bending, right? Playing Mackers. So it's not a role that would usually be open to you.
Right.
Again, it kind of leans and tends towards the limitations that actors have.
Mhm.
Is it also, because I know, like for me, when I was in my drama program, I was the lesbian bitch, and I was great. That was like every show that had a bitchy lesbian, immediately. Like I was like, that's mine.
Typecast much.
So do you find that that's also something that you have to hurdle and struggle with, and is it becoming more difficult or less difficult to find roles that fit what you want to do?
Well, I do think, especially in Shakespeare, those are very boxed in characters. And so especially, it is definitely difficult in Shakespeare, and how much for a woman to get to play, someone like Mackers or Hamlet, like we just would never get those opportunities. That's probably something I'll never get to do in my life. So I don't know if I can say if it's getting better or worse. I pride myself on being a character actor, and I've felt like I've only started getting more like lead ingenue roles in the past few years. And so, I like to do it all,
Yeah.
strive to do it all.
Mhm.
But seeing that, having male privilege and seeing that from the outside, I do see it getting better, but that's kind of the reason I've seen her be so perfect for some, I wrote it for myself, but I kind of wrote it for her. I mean, seeing that struggle, I was like, that is a real issue, especially, and if you see our show, we touch on that a little bit. Well, not a little bit, it's the basis of the show.
A lot. He makes a lot of really great points about being a woman in theater, and especially with Shakespearean roles. It's just a crazy, there's so many women that want to do theater. There's so many women at the audition, but all of the roles are all for men.
Yes.
And you've got 10 men auditioning.
Right.
And so they're all cast.
But like I have a line in there, and I don't want to spoil too much of this, but in a monologue that I wrote for it, it says, I played all these roles, Beatrice, but she doesn't count. and being thrown like Bianca and really though the thing is that Lady Mac is such a good character, and it's not it's just as important as Mackers, but I don't know why I'm not saying it here. Like we say it 1,000 times in our show. But
I know.
Yeah.
Superstition goes deep.
It does. I'm always knocking wood. But still, Mackers is more of like it has more lines, right? And what was my point? What was I saying? It's just that there's a good female roles. There's Beatrice. There's there's some really good Viola. But more often it is I did Saturninus in our what's the character's name? Oh my gosh, Titus's wife. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember that name. But anyway, there's some really good female roles. But that's the point of the show, is that it's never Macbeth, it's never Hamlet, it's never Lear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting though, because I'll just join you all with Mackers. It is, while that is the name, it's a joint thing, right? The title, I don't think it's necessarily just Mackers versus Lady Mackers. I think it is them as a couple. Like that title is encompassing. You can't have one without the other.
No, in fact, one of my pre-show songs is "As Long as We've Got Each Other" from Growing Pains, and because it's the ultimate team, and it is one feeding off of the other. It almost begs to be made a musical, because it's that team of going down that spiral into the into tragedy.
Yeah.
It's ego is feeding off of ego, and one manipulating the other one, and it's like one of the best ones, I think.
Yeah, well, Lance actually he did at Shakespeare's, he actually did a breakdown of the relationship between Mackers and Lady Mackers.
Yeah.
And his whole premise is that they don't have a negative or an evil origin, right? They start out. He's like, because you can't have characters that just, don't move anywhere. They're just like evil from the start. He's like, but look at what they're willing to give up for one another. The sacrifices that they're willing to give, especially Lady Mackers. And his thought is like, she couldn't give him a son, right? Obviously there's no male heir in the show. So she tries to give him whatever she can, however she can.
Right.
And, it's not the best, doesn't have the best results, but the intentions are there.
Right. It starts off as a happy relationship. You're like, oh, he's getting promoted.
Yeah.
And she's really encouraging him because she loves him.
Right.
But encouraging him to murders, maybe.
Yeah, maybe takes a dark turn, dark path.
Yeah.
So you're taking on, because if we look at the actual historical family, right? 11th century, Shakespeare definitely took some liberties with the history of what happened and everything. Truncated it, squeezed everything together. It's fine. But
because there's ancestors of Banquo.
Yes. And also, Mackers ruled for 70 years. So it's not like he was like really 7 days and then out. He had a nice long reign and then eventually got ousted. But everything points to a very peaceful reign.
But wasn't it? Yeah, it was like a propaganda. It was like it was a smear campaign to make Banquo's ancestors more proud of his reign, because they wanted to kind of roast the.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you go from the 11th century relationships, right, where Mackers is the dominant. I mean, already we're gender bending, so that somewhat already answers my question. But to 21st century relationships, and although in our current political climate, I'm not sure there's so much difference.
Not so much different. Listen, humans are the same. We're still the same beasts that we were thousands of years ago. At the end of the day, our ego takes over. And all you need is that little push of somebody to drive your ambition, to make your ego take over and say, yeah, I can do whatever I want. At the end of the day, we still have those relationships. We still all have that ambition. We still all have an ego. So all of those things translate very easily to modern times, in my opinion.
Well, in the current times that we're living in,
And the current,
if you have
yes.
a big enough, if you have an audience, you can say whatever you want, and they go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Like I said, decorum be damned.
I mean, maybe we could have made it a little more poignant toward our political, but then we might have been censored. I'm a teacher. I gotta be careful with what I do.
I tried to, show some similarities, a little bit,
But nuance.
Nuance.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to, didn't make it divisive, and I, didn't want to go, here's what I think, and I'm going to put it in my play. I didn't want to totally, go. I didn't want to spoon feed the audience about, anything that's. But still wanted to make a little bit timely.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make them think. That's the whole point of theater, is to make them connect the dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you take what you see here and connect it to something bigger than this stage, bigger than this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Goals.
Yeah. That's always the goal, is try to make people think, and try to make it timely, current. Try to make them think about, because really, like I said, I wasn't trying to make a no fear version. I wanted to pay tribute in the worst possible way, and but also make people think about going to watch Shakespeare or read it, and because he has such broad ideas, and that's why it's endured so long, is because it's broad enough. His ideas and his themes just permeate throughout the centuries, and there's still, you can still go, oh yeah, that relates to what we're going through right now.
Yeah. Well, and that's the big difference, right? I actually am just finishing up a book with my colleague, shout out to Ron. But so we're working on a book about Yeoman Shakespeare, and that's the big difference. If you look at medieval plays, they give it all to you. There are no secrets. There is no, we know who's saved, who's damned.
Mm-hmm.
It's right out there on the stage.
Right.
And it's Shakespeare and some of his contemporaries that really start creating that nuance, creating those stories that make you actually work for it as an audience and make the connections,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can see kind of a reflection of your own society in a story, as opposed to, here are the truths of, the Bible or what have you.
Right. Here's a morality play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes him so different. And like you said, has led to his longevity as a playwright. I mean, it's still applicable.
Yeah. And he does it and it's so, I think the reason why it is so applicable is that the language is so memorable, and the way that it's constructed, and the poetry that he has, his technique and his way of creating character with his words, it sticks with you, and that's why we can still find it today. I mean, it's lasting because it's like a song, right? It's like an earworm. It sticks in your head, and you go, because I've heard the speech tomorrow, right? So many years. But it wasn't until this last year that I watched the Frances McDormand and Denzel Washington version, the black and white version on whatever it was, streaming. And the way that Denzel Washington did that monologue, I was like, oh my God, I get it. because it was in my head already for decades.
Yes.
And saw him do it, and I was like, oh my God, now I know. I mean, I don't.
But at that moment it hit. Yes.
At that moment it hit, and really that was the genesis of this, is because I was like, that was so good. And I said that monologue a couple times in my head, and I was like, oh my God. And then I went, what if it were a musical, and tomorrow they set that monologue to Annie's tomorrow.
That's what I was just thinking.
It fit so well. I was like, I think I came in the living room and I was like, no, get this. What if tomorrow was a musical number from Annie?
So you do feed off of each other and throw.
For sure,
yeah.
Oh, she was so much help in writing this. I mean, I would bounce things off her and go, is that a good idea? And she's like, yeah.
Could be better.
What
if? Yeah.
And you said you're a teacher.
Yes.
What do you teach?
I teach kindergarten.
Oh, you're an actor and a teacher.
Yeah.
In kindergarten. You have we can insert Annie's Hard Knock Life right there.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a hard knock life for sure. But I think that my theater background is perfect for teaching kindergarten. Because I am performing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm on all day. And we do lots of singing and dancing and making up fun little chants and things like that. And it's, at the end of the day, for me, it's all about storytelling and getting kids interested in reading for the sake of being lost in a story.
Yes.
The excitement of playing out a story. So I use play and theater in my classroom as well.
Can I come be in your classroom?
Yes, you can. Come and read to my class.
Yay.
I would love that.
Oh, I love it.
I'm a teacher.
Oh.
Well, I'm actually, I've worked at a couple other promotions in funeral industry, but here recently I decided I was like, let's go back to school and get my certification to teach middle school. And so I've been subbing for the last couple of years in middle school.
Yeah. When they're starting to get those personalities.
Ooh, those hormones.
Yeah.
But I love connecting with that age, because Liam is 12, and so I get to tell a lot of really bad jokes. Yeah.
And he loves them.
But she's been teaching kindergarten for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now that I've been doing this for 3 years, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Oh man. After 16 years, I teach college level, and
right.
I sometimes think that it might be the same thing as teaching. You're just like, all right, everybody, let's have our hands together. What can I do to get your attention and keep it for 5 seconds?
Oh gosh, I can't
at that
imagine
point,
for adults even, and especially with AI now. I can imagine doing your job.
And the technology, they have attention spans of goldfish. I'm like, oh, you sweet little goldfish. How are you ever going to survive?
And they're paying for it, so they're like, I don't have to listen if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Or parents are paying for it. And so,
I was going to say, let's be clear.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Parents
are paying for it. Yeah.
Parents are paying. Those are the ones. The ones that are paying for it themselves. They listen.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah. Yeah. Since I've been back, oh my God, I'm just like, I'll waste money if I don't get an A in this class. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the ones that get it paid for that are like, it's fine, whatever.
Right.
And then some of them are in college for no reason whatsoever. They show up and they're just like, I'm like, what do you want to do with this? I don't know.
Right.
And I'm going, this is pretty expensive to just kind of,
I don't know,
do to join a fraternity.
Right.
I have questions. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Acting requires so much dedication, so much passion, and you have to fight for it. That's what I'm worried is missing from so many of my students, is the passion, the dedication, and the willing to fight for it. Because I feel like anything, if you want to be good, no matter what field it is, you have to have, I feel like acting more so, because you also have to have a really thick skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the financial part of if, you know, if you're in engineering, you're like, well, like I can get a relatively decent job and make good money, whereas acting,
not so much.
not so much.
And I was equity for about what was it, 6 months? Maybe, anyway, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna make it professional, and I'll get so much more money. But what it does in this town right now is, I mean, I don't mean to slam it at all. I'm just saying that it wasn't for me because I wasn't going to be doing enough shows to actually make it worth my while, and the dues for the union and stuff like that. So like, but theaters are paying a lot more nowadays, but it's definitely not a living. You can't survive off of it, and you have to be willing to go without sometimes to do a show. Yeah. And did I stop it? Did I bring the mood down?
No, I think it's, you know, a really important point because I have so many people who want to do theater, whether it's here and it's young actors who are just getting started, students that I've met at OU that are in the drama department there. And so it's always great to kind of hear the different sides and struggles and pieces of it. But do you have any thoughts of what you would say to some of the young actors just getting started?
I mean, you know, you're right. Like it's a passion, and either you have that passion to do it or you don't. And if you have the passion to do it, then you'll do it. You know, whether that's here or in New York, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're doing the thing that makes you happy. You know, I'm perfectly happy living here and doing what I can here, because I probably wouldn't get the opportunities to play the roles that I have if I were in New York. You know, so there's a lot of really great benefits to.
Yeah, and I would also say that don't do it for the wrong reasons. Don't do it because you want to go to New York and get famous. I
mean, that's fine for that to be a goal
it's fine.
too.
Sure,
but you have to really.
It could be a goal,
it.
but not a motivation for doing it.
Right.
Because there's plenty of art to do here, and that's what I love about Fringe so much is that Jenny and Adam have given kind of an avenue for everyone to go. You know, I can make a difference here. I can join this artistic community. And it's great to go to New York. I went there thinking that I was a singing waiter for a little bit, and I was thinking about auditioning, and I was like auditioning for little commercials and going over to Jersey to audition. You know, but long story short, I realized I was like, I don't have to be there. I can really go and do some theater that to keep some talent back in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So don't do it for the wrong reasons. Don't do it because you want to get famous, because 99% of the time you're not going to be famous.
Right. It's a very, very small fraction of people that achieve that level of success.
Right.
So go into it. You can have that goal, but with the knowing that you probably will not, reach that level.
Most likely.
That,
but if you do, you're very fortunate.
then that's great.
Yeah,
and as long as you're having a good time and enjoying it and loving it, that's all that really matters.
And it's called a play for a reason. It is playing. It's not, I would say, don't be an asshole.
That is very valid. Yeah, I've heard quite a few stories about the egos on the stage.
And that's why, I wrote this other little short 10-minute play about an actor that sabotages themselves because of their ego, because they got into it for the wrong reasons. And that was kind of impetus for writing this. I wanted the protagonist to be kind of flawed and self-sabotage. Because there's lots of examples of people out there doing that. And it's like, we're a community. It's a theater. It's one of the most accepting, welcoming industries in the world. And for you to go into it like you're the most important person there or that you deserve to be there because, you know, and we were discussing this the other day, to think that like, oh, I'm a shoe-in, I've acted there before, so they're just gonna give me the role, is nobody should be thinking that.
Yeah.
Nobody should go into it thinking they deserve anything, that they're there to enjoy the craft and play.
Absolutely. So to bring it back to Macbeth, so I can't it keeps going back in my head. So you took the role because the person who was originally playing the part was kept from playing the part.
Have you heard some details from Jimmy?
Sounds familiar. You've had some obstacles. Have you had some obstacles with Macbeth in terms of the?
Well, and it's not funny.
We've had a bit of bad luck.
Yeah,
We've
which
had,
I mean, it's Macbeth, so maybe.
He literally was like, "Am I testing the theater gods?" Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I mean,
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think maybe."
But I really do. I try to like knock on wood and like turn around and curse and spit. but really though, our power went out for a day. I got pulled over. The original guy who plays our director, our older director, had to drop out because his work schedule. And then about a week ago,
Yeah.
a week?
About a week ago.
Yeah.
A week and a half ago, one of our dear friends had to drop out because they were assaulted, and God, we were heartbroken, but a miracle landed. All of these people in this show I've known for about 25 years. We haven't known each other for 25 years, but
So some of
You're
them,
married, so
some
it
of them
doesn't
he's
count.
known for 25 years. Everybody he's known at least for like 10.
Some
You
married
know.
too,
well,
so-
with the exception of Ellie and Ian, I've either done Shakespeare in the Park many years with, or Oklahoma Children's Theater. Doug Brown is in it, who was one of my idols when I was first doing Shakespeare in the 90s.
He actually married us. Doug officiated
Yeah,
our wedding.
yeah.
So
She officiated mine.
Jimmy, I've known since the early odds. Courtney Haney, I've known since 20 plus years from Children's Theater. Crystal, I did Three Musketeers at the Water Stage with her, where I was D'Artagnan.
Nice.
he's been around, so he knows a lot
There's
of
a lot
really
of
talented
connections,
people.
yeah.
Well, and when I was writing this, I didn't write it for anybody specifically, but like, I knew who to call.
Yeah.
And so, with the exception of, and then, like I said, a miracle fell in our lap. I went through I don't know. Everybody's either involved in a show around town,
Right.
or they're involved
Because
with
TheatreCrude,
friends.
like-
Because it's crude,
Right.
and because the shows are so many,
Right.
everybody is involved in something right now,
But
and,
this-
and it's just such short notice. Like everybody's
This
already-
actor that I just did a stage reading with for Whatever Works for Zach Scalzo's theater company. I all of a sudden he went, "What about Ian?" And I went, "Oh my God!" And then Ian was available, and then we worked him in the last week, and he's been great. And it's just been like, thank you,
Yes.
theater guys.
I know everybody knows.
But really, though, I mean, I did my first impetus to write a show about Mackers was to explore the curses,
Mm-hmm.
about the, I'll keep this short, but like to not dispel, because I am a little stitious, and I have gotten upset not upset, but there was an actor here when we did Hamlet, and I was playing Claudius here in the last couple of years. Well, no, it wasn't the last couple of years. 2020 seems like last year, but it was 22. Anyway, he was backstage, and he said Macbeth, and we all looked at him and were like, "What are you doing?" Right? And I was like, "Seriously, go outside, turn around 3 times, spit, curse, and then asked to be let back in. And he was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, and we're all like, look at him like, you've got to, right? In that production, it was 2022, so it was very recent. It was very close to COVID. Our lead got COVID. Oh God. Then some
3 people in total got
three people in total.
Yeah.
And because of equity rules, they were like, if this many people,
oh gosh,
then we canceled the whole second weekend. I think somebody even hurt themselves. Henri. So it was. I'm serious. There's some things that happen to productions, and so I wanted to write a show about all the curses and whistling backstage, which is not good to do.
Yeah, break a leg.
Break a leg instead of good luck. And ghost lightning.
The ghost lightning.
Yeah. And so
hey, next project, because I like it.
I think I really should. It was actually an early version of this was about actors that played Mac and leaning back, accidentally going back in time and having to kill Shakespeare, and they create all of the curses.
All of the curses and all of the superstitions. Yeah.
But
I love it.
Yeah, I had to go away from that idea for a little bit.
Yeah, but like I think you should stew. Like
I think so.
You said this one took a while to kind of get to where it needed to go,
right.
I think I like it. I like because I mean I'm a nerd. I like bringing in those different elements of the different curses. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea.
I think so.
Keep ruminating on that.
Yeah. Because this show, and speaking of nerds, this show incorporates 4 different kinds of nerds, really. Musical, Shakespeare, Star Wars, and pop, Taylor Swift.
Swifties, yeah.
Yep.
So really what you're saying is that, we might need to be knocking on wood, but we should all come see this amazing show.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, maybe knock on some wood, and maybe,
maybe once we all leave the theater, turn around 3 times, spit first.
Maybe do something good for somebody to pay it forward to somebody, like try to be really nice for the next couple of days.
Hey, that we all need that. So let's go with that one.
But definitely if you're a fan of Shakespeare, if you're a fan of musicals, if you're a fan of theater in general, this is the show for you.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all my things. So I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me dates and where so that we can all go there.
We have the privilege of kicking off the festival Thursday the 2nd at 7 p.m. Then
at the Third Act Theater Company, which is at Northpark Mall,
which you would never expect. So,
but it's a pretty cool space. They have some restaurants right there. It's kind of they have some restaurants and some bars right near the theater.
Michelle, it's a date night.
I was like, there's still a lot really happening at the Northpark Mall.
Yeah, it's a pretty lively mall. They have 2 other venues: the Daily, which is on North May, about less than a half a mile south of there, and then the 4801, which is in Bethany. It's like off of MacArthur. But we have the privilege of being in the bigger festival space this year. So yes, that's at Third Act. So we do it on the 2nd, which is Thursday at 7 p.m. Then you have to wait until the next Wednesday, the 8th, at 10 p.m. So that would be a good one to go to and be a little intoxicated.
If you don't have to work the next day.
If you don't have to work the next day. But it's fall break for a lot of people.
It caters to a very specific crowd. It's going to be a fun one. Yes. Don't miss that one.
And then, so it's this week, Thursday, and then you wait till Wednesday of the next week on the 8th, and then the 10th, Friday at 8:30, and then on the 11th at 4 p.m.
Okay, and all of this is available on the TheatreCrude website.
Yes.
They have a breakdown of all of the different shows, all of the different times, and you can even get a pass. So you can get a pass and then go to all the shows, which let's see how many we can go to.
Yeah.
But I don't think you could go to all of them. I think I heard Adam say or Jenny say that it wouldn't be physically possible to go to all of them.
Wow.
You just need to split yourself into two people.
Right,
It'll
right,
be fine.
right.
Or like teleport. It'll work.
Give yourself a clone.
Yeah. It'll be fine. We'll get it. All right. So, any last things you want to say about the show? All the things.
All the things.
When he first had the outline to me or the first kind of rough draft, I said, this is a love letter to theater. As much it is a critique, because real love is holding a mirror up to something and noticing all of the cracks and the flaws.
Yes.
Because our craft isn't perfect and
Right.
our society isn't perfect, but it's still something that we love and we cherish. And so if you also have any love of theater and have asked any of those questions about Shakespeare, and because there's a big divide between not only Shakespeare purists and Shakespeare like New Age people, but classic theater and musical theater,
Yes.
New Age theater, it's and both of those things exist in the same world, and we should reach across the divide and hold hands.
We need to bridge as many divides.
Because we've both done a lot of musicals and we've both done a lot of Shakespeare. And I just think that it doesn't have to be such a divided
marriage.
world. It
Yes.
is a marriage, and it requires the same kind of acting sometimes. It's big and broad,
Yeah.
big and out there to the back row in musical theater, and the same as Shakespeare. And I would say the ones that are like, I don't want my Shakespeare touched. I would say, I have such reverence for Shakespeare, but have you ever just wanted to tear it apart? And have you ever wanted to set Shakespeare to a bunch of favorite musicals?
And Will is, I think, uniquely qualified to write something like this because of his knowledge of Shakespeare and his extensive experience in Shakespeare, really. So if you are somebody who does know Shakespeare, and especially if you know Mackers, you're going to love, you're going to get all the jokes. Because he does a really great job, very layered jokes, and you have to really know Mackers to really get all of them.
I didn't pay her to say that.
I'm just saying, I'm legit. If you know it, you're gonna like really appreciate the
There's
jokes.
a couple of things that I don't think that people are going to get. So, and
I feel like it's a dare.
well,
Right.
I kind of wanted Jimmy to like come out. I have a director's chair. My dad gave it to me a long, long time ago that says Will Rogers, actor on it, right? And I wanted him to like come out at the top of the show and go, "I'm Will Rogers."
What you're
And if
about
you're
to
not,
see.
yeah, it's a cautionary tale. If you don't get all the references, Will, you're an idiot. But we decided not. Man, I don't know. We may put it in.
You don't have time.
No, we don't. But all the songs in it are from musicals that are adaptations themselves. The songs are diegetic. It's not just like we're breaking into songs. So it's a show within a show. And if you've ever wanted to see somebody put on a complete travesty,
Yes.
And it is still an adaptation of Macbeth. The story follows the same storyline
it's a love letter to Kiss Me Kate, and it's
to theater itself.
yeah.
Well, I am so grateful to both of you for coming on the show.
We're so grateful to you.
Thank
Oh
you
my
for having
gosh.
us.
Tiffany, Will, it's been amazing. You two are perfect in like every way possible.
Oh.
I mean, even your shirts, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, we chose these.
I
It's
was
about
like,
Shakespeare
oh,
and Star
like
Wars.
the nerdness and the awesomeness is just literally vibrating from you.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better duo. So I'm so excited. I will be there opening night.
Yay.
And everybody else, get to this show. The tickets for TheatreCrude are super affordable. It's $15 a ticket. So this is a great date night. And you will laugh and maybe cry.
Maybe cry.
Hopefully laugh.
Hopefully laugh.
And a little bit of crying, yeah.
Maybe be a little bit scared.
Maybe, hopefully.
Like maybe like laughing so hard that
That
you're
you're crying,
There you go.
and then you cry
And then
so
you
much.
pee
that
your
you-
pants a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a full body experience. Pumped. All right, everybody. Just remember, all the world's a stage, and you too can be a shrew. Bye.